Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about some firewall settings. This is something which could be very basic to some of the people, but I'm still going to go over it with the graphical representation because it is an important concept from the certification point of view, and you have to kind of pay attention in your certification about the firewall settings. If you don't do that properly, then the results could go this way or that way. So let me kind of start with the basic thing. Let us say this is a server on which I have two services, or you can say two processes, or maybe three processes that are running. These processes, let us say this is an HTTP process, this is an FTP process, and this is an SSH process. So these are the three programs that are running on this server. So obviously, based on our networking knowledge, we know that HTTP server runs on port number 80, the FTP server runs on port number 21, and SSH runs on port number 22. These are the port numbers for these various servers. Now, what is a firewall? Firewall is actually a program which is running on this server, which encompasses all these other programs. When I said encompasses all these other programs, it means it will not allow any of these programs, let us say for example HTTP program, or in this case the SSH program, it will not allow any of these programs to communicate to any of the machines that are outside or on its network. So if for some reason this person wants to download some web page from the HTTP, or this client wants to connect to the FTP server and upload certain files, or this person or this machine wants to connect to this server using the SSH, all those things will not work if the firewall is turned on. And when the firewall is turned on, I mean there are no ports that are open. So how do we ask this client here on the left hand side to communicate with the server, which is the HTTP server running here on the right hand side? We do it in two ways. Either we disable this firewall, which is actually holding all the communication, or the better way is to disable actually a specific port, or the correct terminology is to open a specific port. So what can be done is that specific port number here, let me see if I can draw something there. This specific port number on the firewall, I don't know if you can see this thing, but that can be open, that specific port number there. And once we open this port number, then the traffic can flow from the left hand side here to, or through this port number, to the server on the right hand side. So this left hand side client will go through the port which is now open 21 and connect to the FTP server here on the right hand side. So this is how you do it. You either open the ports properly or you disable the firewall, and obviously you need to know which port to open and which port not to open. And once the ports are open, the traffic will flow through that port number only. And for this specific reason, you need to know what are the port numbers for various services. So well-known services are HTTP 80 port, FTP 21 port, and SSH is 22 port. So this is the background about setting up the firewall, and how to set up the firewall, how to open the ports, or how to disable or enable the firewall. We'll see that in our next section. And in the certification exam, as you will be setting different servers, either the HTTP or FTP or SSH, depending on what they ask you, you will have to either open the ports or either disable the firewall. My recommendation is don't disable the firewall if it is already on. If it is not on, you don't have to worry about it. So you have to kind of check those things. You have to check how the whether the firewall is running or not. If it is running, how to open specific port numbers. So that is something that we'll see in our next